So there we go. We're live. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to another virtual 1 Million Cups Bentonville. We're glad to have you tuning in from wherever you are, whether you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, or whether you're brushing your teeth, getting ready for work, or on your way to work, drop the kids off. Whatever you're doing, we appreciate you for tuning in. My name is Caleb. I'm the Director of Marketing and Events at Startup Junkie in Fayetteville. And I'm a proud 1 Million Cups Bentonville organizer. And for those of you who may not be familiar with 1 Million Cups, might be your first experience. 1 Million Cups was created on the notion that entrepreneurs discover solutions and engage with their communities over a million cups of coffee. So I hope everybody has their cup of coffee this morning, and they are caffeinating. It's St. Patrick's Day, so you are allowed to have an Irish coffee this morning if that's what you're into. 1 Million Cups was created by the Kauffman Foundation in 2012 as a free program designed to educate, engage, and inspire entrepreneurs around the country. And through the power of volunteers, 1 Million Cups has grown to more than 160 communities. So the idea is that, if you were to move into a new community or you're visiting a new community for work, which, work travel is not much of a thing right now, but if you were in a new community and you wanted to plug in with the entrepreneurs, the venture ecosystem, you can find your local 1 Million Cups chapter, attend and meet a lot of like-minded entrepreneurs that can help you plug into that ecosystem. And as a program of the Kauffman Foundation, 1 Million Cups works with entrepreneurs, empowering them with the tools and resources to break down barriers that stand in the way of starting and growing their business. Today, we're excited to have Misty Staley. She's the creator of FreeArm with her husband, Will. It's a device that simplifies tube feeding by holding gravity syringe feeds, pump feeds, and home infusions. FreeArm is a patent-pending FDA Class 1 medical device, and that's as far as I'm going to go because I'm going to let her share the FreeArm story and tell you more about their business. So without further ado, Misty, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Misty Staley, CEO of Staley House, creator of the FreeArm, a patent-pending FDA medical device that simplifies tube feeding. This is my son, Freeman. The FreeArm would not be here if it wasn't for his wonderful little life. Freeman was born April 2015. We spent 3.5 months in the Little Rock, Arkansas Children's neonatal ICU, home for 5 weeks in Helena, Arkansas, and then another 5 long months in the Arkansas Children's Pediatric ICU before Freeman sadly lost his battle with pulmonary hypertension at 10 months old. Freeman had a feeding tube his entire life. While in the hospital, nurses were unable to stand and hold the gravity syringe. They had other babies to look after, so they would always rig it, tape the syringe to Freeman's swing or to the side of his crib, or rubber band it to the oxygen meter on the wall, or hang it over his tall canopy crib with a ribbon. Rigging the syringe in all of these different places never fed Freeman at the same rate. The syringe was always too high or too low, making his feed go in too fast or too slow, and the ribbon over Freeman's crib was always in the way. Freeman would spit up, aspirate, and turn blue. Doctors would have to rush over to bag him, having to fight with the ribbon to reach him quickly. This was always so scary. While Freeman was home, we needed help with his gravity syringe feeds during the day and his pump feeds at night. It was overwhelming to sit on the couch and try to hold Freeman and hold the gravity syringe, put the meds in, and perform therapies like holding Freeman's passy in so that he could suck as his tummy filled. We had to do all of these things at the same time. We tried feeding Freeman in his crib and tying the scary ribbon over the top, but we didn't have the tall canopy of the hospital crib at home, making the ribbon an even bigger hazard. We needed an extra hand, so we created one. The FreeArm. The FreeArm clamps to flat and rounded surfaces, like the round bars on a wheelchair or hospital crib, and flat tables and more, giving every tubie a helping hand at the hospital, home, and on the go. The arm bends up easily for travel and can bend to the exact height above the tubie's abdomen where feeds are tolerated best, providing a consistent way to feed in all situations. The FreeArm is the first holder on the market that holds gravity feeds, pump feeds, and infusions. Other holders hold one or the other, but they are larger and a heck of a lot less mobile. If you ever have the chance, try fitting an IV pole in your car. It's amazing to see how far the FreeArm has come. In 2018, we took our FreeArm idea to the Arkansas Small Business Technology and Development Center in Little Rock. They connected us with a mentor and advised us to begin customer discovery interviews to see if others in the home and hospital setting were experiencing the same pain points with tube feeding that we were. Then we formally registered as Staley House LLC. We were then accepted into the 2018 Delta iFund summer cohort. The iFund is also based in Little Rock and is a small business accelerator at Winrock. During our time in the iFund, we led customer discovery interviews with over 100 more parents and hospital staff. We launched the FreeArm and went to market late November 2018. Everyone at the ASB, TDC, and iFund are amazing. Plus, we have met so many mentors and wonderful people through them. We have also connected and become clients of many other small business accelerators throughout the region. Last week, you heard from Katie Thompson at Startup Junkie, and then you have Caleb too. We have loved working with Katie. We are very thankful for the leadership, expertise, and time that each of these programs has given us. Getting the word out about the FreeArm has been no small feat. With just myself, my graphic designer husband Will, and my recently hired part-time assistant, as well as our newly hired fulfillment manager. Throughout 2019, we began letting others know about the FreeArm. We found that Instagram and YouTube influencers and small conferences were great avenues for connecting with our wonderful at-home tube feeding community. We quickly built a following on social media and love all of the photos sent to us of customers using their FreeArm on the go. This has also allowed me to build close relationships with many of our customers. They are on the same challenging journey that I once was with Freeman, and I want what's best for them. So my customer service is top priority. If a family reaches out to me with any questions or trouble with their FreeArm, I respond quickly, and often families tell me that I offer results that are beyond their expectations. A medically complex life is difficult enough. So anything that I can do to make life easier, I'll totally do it. 2020's plans included large clinical-focused nutrition conferences, hiring 1099 medical device sales reps, and getting the FreeArm into more hospitals and supply companies. But COVID! There's nothing like a global pandemic to throw a wrench in your business plans. Our supply chain came to a screeching halt, but through all of the mentors that we have connected with, we were able to be connected with even more experts, many right here in Northwest Arkansas, who saved the day and walked us through getting our supply chain back on a stronger path than it was to begin with. We love the mentorship community that we are a part of, others that we can call with questions when we don't know the answers, and that's often. We are so thankful to have met so many wonderful people who have connected us with such broad and knowledgeable networks. Although COVID is not over yet, we are moving forward and getting the FreeArm to as many people as we can. Here are a few pictures of our FreeArm fans online. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to join in the fun. The FreeArm is helpful for babies and adults, especially our adult customers with ALS and home infusions, as you can see here. The FreeArm muscle comes in 4 fun colors: pink, white, blue, and green. It's frustrating to not have any control over a medically complex life. So being able to choose your favorite color FreeArm to match your child's nursery or your wheelchair spreads a little happiness. And recently, our hospital and supply company customers are beginning to grow rapidly, with 2021 averaging 4 new clinical customers per month. The FreeArm is sold worldwide with customers in every U.S. state and over 20 countries. With upcoming sales finalizations through March international FreeArm sales will exceed 50% for the first time. FreeArm instructions are currently available in English, French, Italian, and German. If you would have asked me when I was pregnant with Freeman what I would be doing in 6 years, I would have never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be running a medical company. Freeman gave us a whole new perspective. We learned so much from his short life. It is an honor to help others with all that we learned through Freeman's tube feeding journey. I would love to connect with everyone who is involved with 1 Million Cups Bentonville. Please help spread the word about FreeArm to your networks. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation, Misty. That was great. There's kind of a few second lag between our live stream and as it reaches people on Facebook Live. So I'll kick us off with a question. I'd be curious to know, how the reception was when you were going out doing customer discovery and engaging with parents and people in the medical field, what their reception was to FreeArm.
It was good. When we were doing customer discovery, we weren't going in and saying, we've made this product, will this help you? We really wanted to go in and ask, what are the difficulties that you find with tube feeding? Are you having any difficulties? We would start out with, how do you gravity syringe feed? So within the hospital. So we would hear everything from what I presented with rubber banding it to the oxygen meter, to rubber banding 2 tongue depressors to either side of the gravity syringe, which is a 60 cc syringe. It's about this big, about this big around, if you can see that. And it just has a little kind of lip on the top, and you can tie a ribbon around that and hang it. And we heard that at hospitals across the US. And I thought that it was just creative nurses at Arkansas Children's that came up with this. But then talking with others and them talking about the tongue depressors and the rubber bands and hanging it through the hole in the isolette. And it was like, this is trouble for everyone. And then talking with parents, it was, well, we have to feed in the same place every day. And they would talk about how they had this little mini trampoline in their house with a little bar on the top that you could like hold on to as you jump, but they would feed their son on the trampoline. So lay their son on the trampoline and hang the syringe from that bar on the trampoline. But if you think about trying to leave your house, try to go to the park or the playground or even grandma's or school, or you can't really pack a trampoline with you. So we really wanted to hear this feedback so that then we could think the FreeArm needs to clamp to everything. It needs to be able to be on the go with the family.
We've got some questions coming in the comment section here. One from James Bell. He said, what's your biggest challenge and how do you believe we can help you with our assets, resources, and connections in Northwest Arkansas?
Hey, James. I guess our biggest challenge, it changes month to month. When we were having trouble with supply chain, getting product in, and shipping is still super slow. So I think maybe a challenge right now, and I've talked with several people about this. So we ship through USPS, and we love it. Our local post office, everyone there is wonderful. But it gets hung up in the mail system a lot, I find. But I don't know if we ship large enough orders at this time to go with FedEx or UPS and have our own shipping for it to make sense money-wise with the other fees and having home pickup and things like that, not having a UPS store or FedEx store in Helena to drop it off at. So I would love to talk with people more about shipping and supply chain, but also just connecting with hospitals. We're doing a Child Life giveaway this week. It's Child Life Week. So we're celebrating Child Life specialists, which work with kids in hospitals to help make the medical experience more easily to understand through play. And so doing a giveaway with them for a FreeArm to use in the hospital, and also a Medi Teddy, which is a plastic IV bag cover that can hide a blood transfusion or hide an IV and make it more happy and child friendly for adults too. I mean, if I'm in there getting an IV, looking at the bag makes you a little queasy. So I think reaching out to child life specialists, reaching out to dietitians, to GI doctors, connecting with people.
And someone, I believe Katie Thompson has a question. She said, what has been the biggest challenge that you have overcome so far?
Hey, Katie. Katie helped us with our SBIR grant, and that was a challenge. That was horrible. But Katie was amazing, and she walked us through it. And yeah, that was really hard. I think we've had to overcome a lot of challenges with just figuring things out. Our insurance code that people can file. It's called a HCPCS code. It's great that we have a HCPCS code and people can get the FreeArm provided to them and covered by their insurance. But then it's hard because you have to get into those at-home suppliers, those DMEs, durable medical equipment suppliers, because they are the ones that file it under insurance. We're pretty small compared to IV poles and things like that. So it's working with DMEs, and there are wonderful DMEs out there that really think outside the box and really want to help their customers. Getting into those DMEs that see, wow, okay, this gets people out of their house. This lets them feed their child upstairs or downstairs in their house. They don't have to feed in the same place every day because they're tethered. And so there's been lots of challenges we've had to overcome, but connecting with people like Katie, it's been great to reach out and ask these questions.
Jacob, oh wait, no, that's a comment. Katie had another question. She said, you might have touched on this with one of your previous answers. What is your biggest need right now to continue to grow?
We need to hire on some 1099 independent medical device sales reps. So if anyone has sales reps in their networks as well, we've talked with a few, and this was our plan right at the beginning of 2020. And with COVID and with hospitals pretty much not allowing any visitors. I know at Arkansas Children's, I'm on the PICU Family Advisory Board, so even parents were limited. It was at first just one parent the entire time your child is there. And if you think about Freeman, we were 3.5 months in the NICU, 5 months in the PICU. So to just have one parent the whole time and not have that support system there with you to make those difficult decisions for your child, that's tough. But then trying to get the FreeArms into hospitals and to work with people who have already built relationships with those hospitals, them not being able to get through the door made it difficult and made it a lot slower. We do have hospitals reach out to us, and I do call hospitals directly, but it would be so much faster if we had a sales team.
And Morgan has commented, this is an incredible product. Do you see other versions of it being applicable to issues in the medical industry? Is this the first product or other innovative products with your medical device company?
Thank you, Morgan. Do you see versions of it being applicable to other issues in the medical industry? So with the FreeArm, since it is a bendable arm and a clip at the end, if you go to our website, it's freearmcare.com. We have a hospital tab, and you can see photos at the top. The FreeArm can hold toys above the crib for the child. It can hold a silo bag. If your child's born with the intestines on the outside of the body, you have to bag those up and give them time to get back in. So you have this bag that needs to be suspended above the child, and it can hold that. It can hold maybe a sheet to hold up and block out some light if the child's sensitive, because a lot of times we know with Freeman, any loud noises or light or just a lot of commotion would stimulate him, and that would bring his heart rate up. And the higher his heart rate got up, the more they would have to bolus his morphine or bolus drugs that would keep him calm, because they didn't want his heart rate getting that high. So we do see some other applications. first product of other innovative products with your medical company. Yes, so we started with the original FreeArm. Then we created the FreeArm Muscle. They both do the same thing. They're both for feeds and infusions now with the FreeArm Muscle. But with the FreeArm Muscle, we made a clamp that could clamp to flat and rounded surfaces. And then the FreeArm Muscle holds heavier feed volumes. So with Freeman, he was on gravity syringe feed, so no more than 60 mils in the syringe at a time. And then his bag was only 500 mils. So it was about this big. But adult bags our adult feeding bags where they're on larger feed volumes, they're 1,200 mils. And so the FreeArm Muscle can hold that. But we do have other ideas for fun products that we see are needed. It's just the FreeArm is taking all of my time right now, and I hope to get the FreeArm really in all the hospitals, build all of those connections, and then we'll start some new products.
Start new products after world domination with FreeArm. James Bell had another question. He said, what other companies have complementary products? Have you considered what it would look like to partner with them for their sales forces to supply FreeArm?
Yes, we have. We've been working with other companies. There's a formula company called Functional Formularies. They're throughout the US and Canada. Their sales team has FreeArms, and they will be showcasing their formula with the FreeArm to their hospital connections that they speak with. Their sales force is also not allowed in hospitals a lot right now, so it might be a lot over Zoom. And so people aren't able to actually tangibly touch the FreeArm, but we're working with them, excited about that. Also, Moog Infinity Pumps, Moog Medical. We've been talking with them. They do the Infinity Pump, which is a flat blue feeding pump that's very mobile. It's a wonderful pump, wonderful company. And their sales force also has FreeArms, and they're going to be using them together, whereas we also have Infinity Pumps to send with our sales force as well to show how well they work together.
Awesome. And this one's not a question, but it's a comment. Danielle Dozier, who presented earlier this month, said, "Great product. Keep up the excellent work." So,
thanks, Danielle.
And if we have no other questions, I will conclude with the 1 million cups question, and you kind of addressed that with your presentation. But what can we as a community do to help you?
We love meeting people. So if you have people in your network that you think could benefit FreeArm in getting the word out, we would love to meet them. If you have hospital staff in your network, whether that's at a children's hospital where they work with tube-fed children, Arkansas Children's in Little Rock is the only hospital in the state that places G-tubes, which is a port surgically placed in the belly. They're the only ones that place G-tubes in children in the state. But then we have other hospitals in the state that place PEG tubes. And so a lot of times those would be called a dangler. So it'll have the tube coming out of your stomach, and then you connect to that. We would love to connect with those adult hospitals, dietitians that work with them, people who work directly with tube-fed patients who can bring the FreeArm in and say, you can use this here, become comfortable with it in the hospital, and then discharge home with this FreeArm so that you come to the hospital with, say, gastroparesis or something with your stomach to where you then need a feeding tube, or some type of oral cancer where you can't swallow anymore. And you go in one day having eaten whatever you wanted at home, and then you come out of the hospital being told you can't eat anymore. And our lives really focus around being with people and eating, and that's hard to take that away from somebody. But if somebody can use their FreeArm to hold their gravity syringe and still read the paper in the morning and keep some of that normal life that they had, just the mental niceness that provides, but also the helping hand, we would love to connect with people like that.
Awesome. And what's the best way to reach you, Misty, for those that are watching that want to shoot you an email? What's your email? What's the best way to contact you?
You can contact me at info at freearmcare, FreeArmCare.com.
Awesome. And I will drop that in the comments as well. Missy, we appreciate you presenting this morning. Thank you for sharing your story with our 1 Million Cups community. We appreciate everybody for watching, tuning in, for your questions for Misty. And we hope to see everyone back same time, same place next week.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.